Hello there, RJB here with part number 2 of Rabbit against 458 in a best of set, a best of something. I'm not sure how many games we're going to be going into. The score itself is 2-0 in favor of 458, who yesterday played 2 Protoss against Terrence against the Rabbit, and he won both of them. The games were kind of even up until the point that they weren't, which is usually the case. The games start out somewhat even, and they go even until the point that someone gets an advantage, and the game just goes either way. Sometimes you have a lot of these swings, like back and forths, where one player gets a definitive lead, but then the lead just slips out of their hands. But yesterday we didn't have any of those situations where 458 ever really lost the lead. A 458 here on the bottom right of the map on the 5 o'clock spawn location on the Protoss, and the Rabbit is also on the Protoss, the brown Protoss on the other side of the map. Cross map, Protoss against Protoss. Usually that means that the game is going to go a little bit longer because there is a defender's advantage. But the defender's advantage doesn't always kick in, it doesn't always happen. If one of the two players plays extraordinarily well, or if one of the two players makes a big mistake in the face of the danger and the pressure that they're facing, then we might be seeing a very quick PvP. But this is game number 3. Both players start out more or less the exact same. Nexus, Gateway, Forge, and then an Assimilator. Which means we're not going to see much action. I mean, a cross-map PvP already means we're not going to see a lot of action. So that leaves me a little bit of time to talk about the Korean Protoss against Protoss rules, because they like to have some rules for Protoss against Protoss, and one of the biggest, most important rules is no cannoning on the middle, because that is just lame and is going to turn games into very, very long turtle games where both players just sit at their bases, don't do anything, and games go for an hour, sometimes 2, sometimes 3, and sometimes even 4 to 7 hours. I've seen some really, really long Protoss against Protoss games in my time, and it's definitely the opposite of fun. So they have some rules. No cannons on the middle, only a single cannon in the choke. And that means this entire portion here is not allowed to have more than a single cannon. Just one cannon, not 2, only 1. So finally they're about finding out where the opponent is located on the map. Well, at least Rabbit is, because 458 delayed his scout to get a couple more minerals into the tank, onto the bank. And not sure if it's going to pay off, but at least he knows that Rabbit is not close to him. And Rabbit already knows where 458 is. So the Citadel of Adun is finishing for 458. Rabbit is instead going for a robotics. 458 also went for robotics, but Rabbit didn't go for that Citadel. Rabbit has instead Dragoons on the way. No Singularity Charge, I believe. He might get Singularity Charge soon. He might not get it at all. Whereas 458 is still preparing for the Templar drop, but also for fast Dark Templars, because he's going to need Dark Templars to defend himself against the aggression with the Dragoons. That's why he put his Citadel of Adun and his Templar's Archive all the way on the bottom side, where Rabbit can't see it, where it's protected from vision, but also protected from Dragoon harassment. So Rabbit is trying to harass a little bit with Dragoons, trying to kill some Zealots with some Dragoon Micro, staying out of range. He's got Singularity Charge now on the way, and level 1 attack also on the way, going for a 4th Gateway, whereas 458 now is queuing up his first Dark Templar. He can only afford one of them, and a High Templar and Storm upgrade as well on the bottom side here. He's got a support bay there also. He's going to try to end this with a very fast Storm drop. The Dark Templar is going to keep those Dragoons away. He's got some cannons and pylons on the way there to keep those Dragoons away, just to be sure and safe. Looks like the Dark Templar is going to walk. Yeah, the Dark Templar is going to defend. We don't have an Observer yet from Rabbit. He didn't go for Observe. Yeah, he went for an Observatory, but Observatory is a little bit late because he went for a lot of gas into Dragoons. One of the Dragoons goes down, the others are running away for their lives. The Dark Templar is going to be on the chase. More Dragoons are coming from across the map, but they're going to have to return back to Rabbit's base as well and meet up with the Observer that is most certainly on the way. Shuttle already flying across the map there with a single Templar in there. Flying across the map. Rabbit has a real chance to intercept this one because he has Dragoons, and if he pulls those Dragoons to the sides of his base with these corners here, he can probably intercept the shuttle. Now, he doesn't have side vision yet. Something a lot of players do is they get side vision here, and even here on the middle of the map here. Just to make sure that they have some response time to that shuttle flying across the map into their base. So that they're not caught with their pants down, left to react and respond with very little time when a shuttle comes in. But this time around, Rabbit though is a little bit slow on the response. Notices this shuttle is coming in. Probes are running away to safety. 24 probes are running to the bottom side, maybe even more. Storms all of them. That's even more. That's about 36 of them. He kills 36 probes in total. So 458's choice to go for drops is paying off really, really well. And Rabbit electing to go for a very slow and delayed map control or map vision. Oh, the Zealot speed there finishes up for 458. Gets around on the Dragoons. Dragoons can't really get out of there. The Dragoons are trying. He's trying to keep them alive, but 458 is responding to the micro with his own counter micro and keeps those Dragoons weak, surrounded, and forced to keep running away without dealing all that much damage. A lot of the Zealots go down, but a lot of Dragoons also went down, and 458 is in a definitive massive lead over Rabbit here. He's got Dragoons, Zealots, and Dragoon range finishing up soon as well, as Rabbit is scrambling for money with his 21 probes in total. Life is not looking good for Rabbit here, as he's forced to pretty much make some amazing plays to stay alive, and I'm not sure he can do that in this situation, because 458 is not gonna screw up. 458 is not gonna give Rabbit the opportunity or the chance to stay alive here. He's slowly kiting backwards, going into his own base, but in his own base he doesn't have that much to defend. There's a 30 supply difference between the two players, and 458 is relentlessly on the chase. He's got level 1 attack on the way. Rabbit has finished his own level 1 attack, but yeah, 458 is calling the GG before Rabbit can call the GG. 458 just knows the game is over. He knows the lead he's built himself is just too big for Rabbit to keep up with. And that's game number 3, and Rabbit loses once again. Rabbit loses once again. 458 just went with the superior tactic. It's kind of like a rock, paper, scissors sometimes. At least that's what it feels like sometimes, where either player just selects the superior option compared to the other player. Now, there was of course a chance that if Rabbit successfully defended that shuttle drop, that he would have had a pretty significant lead, because he would have more units and an observer for Dark Templars out on the map to fight with, as 458 invested into Storm, into a Templars Archive, into a Citadel of Dune, into a shuttle. There's just a lot of money that has gone into facilitating and getting the Storm drop. And all the money that goes towards the Storm drop is money that is not going towards army. So what 458 did is kind of a gamble. As Rabbit tried to go for a safer option, but the safer option ended up backfiring because he couldn't defend the Storm drop. So once again, 458 on the 5 o'clock spawn location on the bottom right, and Rabbit on the 6 o'clock spawn location on the middle of the map. The middle bottom of the map. Let's see if both players are once again doing their standard build openings with a Nexus into a Forge. Wait, Nexus Gateway here for 458. Nexus Forge Gateway for Rabbit. So they switched around the Forge and Gateway timings. And also a very early gas there from 458. Whereas Rabbit isn't getting his gas just yet. Kind of curious to see how this one's going to turn out. I do believe 458 has a slight advantage in this game with the drop path for his shuttles. It's easier to drop from here onto 6 o'clock spawn location. Then it is dropped from the 6 o'clock spawn location onto the 5 o'clock spawn location. But there is a chance that Rabbit is going to build himself a lead by having 2 gateways and a late Cybercore. There is a real chance. I'm not going to say it's going to happen, but there is the chance that it will happen. Because every single little difference has its advantage and its disadvantage. 458 is more exposed, but he has a cannon there in the front. He's going for triple gateway. This is going to be Dragoons from 458. Has to be. I see no other reason why he would go for triple gateway that early on. Yeah, it's Dragoons. He's got Singularity Charge, they're on the way. So Rabbit is probably going to do the same. Probably going to go for Dragoons as well, although his Dragoon range is a little bit delayed compared to 458. He might also go for Citadel though. But it looks like Dragoons to me. Looks like both players are going to... Wait, no, it's not Dragoons. It is not Dragoons because he hasn't started Singularity Charge yet. But he did queue up... what's it called again? Robotic Facility. So 458 there trying to kill some probes. Doesn't get any probe kills though, but tried to get one. But is out there forced to run away for its life as Zealots are on the chase, chasing the Zealot around the base. At the same time, Zealots from Rabbit are getting into 458 space where Dragoon has spawned. Singularity Charge is almost finished. And he's getting gateway number 4, whereas Rabbit is still busy with getting that robotic facility. He might go for either a fast Reaver, or he might just stick to going for Dragoons. Dragoons are on the way, Singularity Charge is also queued up. 458 has a small lead here in terms of fighting ability. Even though there's more units on the map for Rabbit, that Dragoons are just stronger than Zealots. But now Rabbit also has 2 of his own Dragoons ready to fight back against aggression. So I don't see a support bay yet from Rabbit, but I do see him go for a shuttle. He's getting level 1 weapon attack as well as 458 is getting his 5th and 6th gateway. There's something on the bottom side which is a robotic facility for probably drops or observers, but neither player is going for Dark Templars. Support bay are on the way from Rabbit. Might see a support bay coming in from 458 as well. They're both kind of doing the same thing, but also not kind of doing the same thing. They're getting the same structures, but the timings for everything is different. Now, I wouldn't really be able to explain why they went for the choices that they did in terms of how they switched around their build order, like their timings for specific structures. I wouldn't be able to tell you why they did it. I wouldn't be able to tell you. Because I don't really know. Like, I don't know which of the 2 build orders is the superior one, because they both kind of end up at the same result. Shuttle there on the way from 458. Support bay not yet finished, but finishing up right now. Reaver on the way there from Rabbit, finishing up in the next 10 or 20 seconds. No shuttle speed on the way for either player. Both have weapon attack on the way on level 1 for gateway units. More gateways coming in there from 458. That's 9 in total. Whereas Rabbit is going for 8 in total. Shuttle has picked up its Reaver. 458 is going for the attack there with his Dragoons and Zealots. He's going to try to put up some pressure onto Rabbit to force Rabbit to use his Reaver for defense. But Rabbit is going in with the Reaver while there's nothing here in between. Only a single cannon there on the bottom side. Dragoons are spawning there though. Probes are not running away. Probes are not yet running away. This might be a catastrophe. We can't shoot on the Reaver shuttle goes down. The gamble didn't work out. 458 was just in time with pulling his probe to safety, and the Reaver was just a little bit too far away. But now Rabbit is feeling like he can go for the attack, enters the middle, gets us around, splits up 458's army. The 458 valiantly fights back, but he's losing out on this battle here. He's losing more units than he's killing. Although more reinforcements are coming on the way from the base, entering the choke point here. The choke point is an advantage for Rabbit, because 458 has to force himself into a very tight, small space. All those Dragoons are crammed in there, whereas Rabbit has like 12 Dragoons firing at the same time. 458 can at most get like 6 or 7 into this tiny little opening. There's simply not enough space for 458 to break in. Drop there comes in from 458 onto Rabbit. He gets a pretty good shot there. Not sure how many he got because I can't see on the Reaver. But the difference between the probe counts has gone to about almost 30. I think that's about a 28 probe difference, maybe 27. Counting is difficult. Yeah, it's 27 probe difference there in favor of 458, so that means he hit 27 probes, at least 27 probes. So the distraction attack there from the front, trying to cram his and force his way into the base there through the front door, it paid off. 458 is on fire. And now the roles have reversed. Now 458 has the superior positioning on the middle, but his unit count is lower than Rabbit's, and the Zealots are being the deal breaker. Rabbit feels that he has to do something, because if he allows 458 to comfortably sit in his base and mass up and get more drops out, the game is going to become harder and harder for Rabbit to play. So Rabbit here is forcing himself into that offensive role, hoping to deal some return damage to buy himself some time to get his probes back up to a number that he's comfortable with, while also trying to produce an army at the same time. I think Rabbit is going to be forced to switch over to more Zealots though, because he cannot afford to produce Dragoons from every single gateway. And that's what happens when you have currently a 23 probe difference, although now grown to 25. He's got a shuttle drop there, almost ready to go in for the attack. He's waiting for his second Reaver. He wants to go for a double Reaver drop. Maybe go for a double Reaver shuttle defense, because that's a big army coming out here from 458. While their army supplies are actually about the same, the supply difference is almost entirely in probes. 458 has a high big bank. He isn't spending it all as it comes in. That mostly accounts for the difference in supply here. If 458 spent all this money a little bit better, he would have a way bigger army. He could have 22 more Zealots on the map, or Dragoons on the map, if he was spending a little bit better. But he has been focusing on other things. For example, he's getting level 1 armor. 2 Reavers there in the front, fighting and joining the fray. Well, this might actually go pretty well for Rabbit here. He's going to have to micro the Reaver Zealot, the Reaver shuttle really well. The shuttle gets taken out of the air, but he unloads the Reaver, takes down both the Reavers before they can really contribute to the fight all too much. But his minerals are way too damn high. He's on 3,600 minerals. He's not spending anything at all. He's not spending anything at all. He's just completely... What's going on with 458? I've never seen him go so high in his minerals in the PvP while defending. He should be able to easily spend all that money. But nonetheless, despite not spending all that money instantly, he is in the lead still. Another drop there came in. The drop missed there though. Drop missed, but I think Rabbit knows the game is over. Actually, Rabbit did lose a couple of his workers. Looks like this best of set ended. I think this is a combination of best of sets, because in the chat there they were talking about doing another best of 3 or another best of 5. So I assume they played a best of 7 here, and now they're looking to extend the series by adding another best of 5 or a best of 3. I never really know how many games are part of a set when they play like 10 or 11 games in a row. Anyway, 458 here completely dominated the game with a very well-timed shuttle drop. Rabbit couldn't really keep up. 458 didn't really have to spend all his money. He has so much money in the bank. Way too much money in the bank. But that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Rabbit against 458, part number 2. There might be a part number 3 sometime in the near future. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope you come back around for part number 3. Have a good day, and goodbye. RJB for RJB, tuning out. Bah!